Virgo. Let's now have a look and see what's coming up for single Virgos and couples. Okay, we'll start off with singles. Okay, singles, there's a lot of opportunity opening up, but for some reason communication is reversed. So you aren't connecting potentially with someone in communication. Now, you might not see much of a relationship forming, so progress might be very, very slow for some of you. The potential to meet people online is very strong, potentially. So dating apps, social media, putting yourself out there to the world, that's I think is quite heightened for you, okay? I did mention lack of exposure here, but for singles, it would appear with the World card that opportunity is at your doorstep. The Empress can often indicate things like fertility, maternity, beauty. So some of you might be connecting with someone who is a parent, works with children, or has a maternal, paternal nature to them with the Empress. There's an attraction here, Virgo. There's a very strong attraction, but for some reason, a relationship might not necessarily be forming right now. It may be due to inconsistent communication. The Lovers can represent the formation of a relationship, a mutual connection, but in this case it's reversed here. So someone might not be feeling the same way you do. Things could definitely be one-sided, or you might not be acting on an opportunity that's in front of you because maybe it's your mind state, Virgo. You know, I often associate the World card with perception and how we see things, and you can see the perception. She's looking to love, but the love that she's looking to is upside down. So Virgo, someone could have potentially affected you recently and has caused you to think differently about love, and there could be an opportunity here, but you're seeing it come up as reversed. So for some of you, Five of Swords is here. This is normally a card of walking away, picking up the pieces, upsetting someone, you know, a dysfunctionality somehow with words or mentality. And this is coming up reversed, okay? So the reverse meaning of the Five of Swords. I think there's a bit of what ifs coming up. So you might be contemplating or thinking about things you could have done, you should have done, you had the opportunity to do, and you may come to regret those in some way. The opportunity may come back around though. I feel like this is the karmic laws, things coming back around. There may be communication, but I think, you know, the Empress represents the number 3, and we see 3 people here. So there's something about a third party. You either found out that someone you were speaking to is speaking to someone else, or maybe there's a third-party situation that you are still healing from. The Star card was reversed, and this could indicate there is a lack of healing. So a lack of healing in some way, Virgo. So someone refuses to heal, or someone is not in a space to heal. They're still thinking, Virgo, or you're potentially still thinking about this person. Now, the communication card reverse would indicate that right now this person is not in a place to connect or reconnect. And that doesn't mean it's forever. It could just indicate right now their thoughts, you know, they're in two minds. They don't have a steady thought process right now. Normally, the Five of Swords is picking up the pieces, which would show some sort of interest or engagement, but this is reversed. So you are not potentially seeing that. Maybe you are coming up as the Empress here, and maybe this is an opportunity for you to grow individually, to grow spiritually, to grow romantically. Maybe it's like the universe is giving you that opportunity. It could also be unplanned pregnancies for some of you from brief encounters, so not from someone who has had a relationship with you. Maybe it's someone that's been very fleeting. Okay, with the World card, you've had quite an open connection. There could be an open relationship coming up for some of you. So you may be entering into that Virgo during this time. I think it is connected to this openness, but your perception has changed. I think there's change of perception. There could be a bit of a quiet period when it comes to love. or love could be online. It might be with someone foreign with the World card, or travel. Travel for business or for leisure could definitely bring you romance. If you've been dealing with a Gemini, maybe a Taurus as well. Gemini's coming up reverse. Taurus is, I feel like the Empress is a very Venus energy. So Taurus, Libra. In particular, I feel like she's a Taurus. She's very earthly. Very earthly energy, okay? Let's have a look at couples, Virgo couples, and see what's coming up in the cards. Okay, the past is reversed. So this is ignoring the past in some way. Cancer can be past attachments and exes, or things that you've been holding on to in a relationship that has caused a bit of negativity, I feel. If it's caused, if it hasn't allowed your relationship to flourish, Virgo, you might just be leaving that behind and moving on from that. Because we do see the Wheel of Fortune. So this is movement in the right direction. And this is a betrayal. Betrayal is reversed. Pain is reversed. There could be like damage control or irreversible damage that has happened or will happen either from your side or from theirs. I mean, normally the Ten of Swords is an ending. It still can be some sort of ending, although I'm not seeing an exodus per se, like a splitting or a leaving behind. For some of you, you may come to experience that, but for some of you, I think it's short-lived. It's only temporary. The Chariot can be movement and acceleration forward, though, emotionally. So things could be at a bit of a standstill. Again, the notion of calm, the notion of things slowing down a little bit. So you may come to see that in your relationships. The Four of Wands is here. Now, this could be a proposal or a marriage or entering into a union. Some of you do have that significant chapter. This is the Wheel of Fortune that's bringing you this connection or bringing you this relationship here. So some of you are starting a new relationship, or it could even be renewing some sort of relationship. But you're dropping the past somehow. You're disconnecting from that, whether it is in a good or bad way. But there is something about the darkness here, being left in the dark. I think your thoughts are in the dark about an issue. Again, I would go back to what I mentioned in the general reading, is not acting on an opportunity, not saying something, not acting on it when you could have. And seeing that makes me think that there is something here, Virgo, that you are unsure about, that you're concerned but not really mentioning it for some reason. I don't know if you fear it's going to bring up your past or their past, and maybe you've sort of had a conversation about this and it's like, well, let's not go there again, and you've sort of put it into place with the Nine of Cups, like, let's not do that to each other, let's not get ourselves to that stage. But that doesn't mean it's not in the back of your mind. But you might also come to see this from your significant other. It's almost like the Chariot is reversed. He's been knocked down. He's been bumped in the road and knocked over. Maybe this is a bit like a crash and burn situation for some of you. Again, not for all. But for some of you, it could be that type of energy here. Where we see that you've been sort of knocked down, knocked over in a connection. Maybe a message here with the Four of Wands is that you need to come back into enjoying your connection and celebrating your love once again. There might have been a lot of pain or heartache. But I would assume that with the Chariot, it's not being nostalgic about a situation. because there is motion here eventually. This can also be seen as a clock. So a divine time for something, a divine time to get married, a divine time to put things in the past. Maybe this is an excellent opportunity for you to put your past behind you, Virgo, or put someone else's past. And maybe it has been affecting the relationship. And there's an opportunity here to, to put this in the past and to forget and to move on. Move on and to disconnect here. It could also be you playing something off that was quite hurtful. Okay, so maybe something that was said or done and you felt betrayed, but it's almost like you're not letting this person know. Again, I would point to not exposing something here. Possibly suffering in silence here, Virgo. And you know, these thoughts can be painful, but if they are reversed, then gravity would do its job and the swords would come out of this person's back. And slowly, one by one, the pain would ease, the burden would ease, the memories would ease. And it could be something you're doing to yourself in this connection, Virgo. It could be something that you keep reliving, just to put this away, to put this in the past, and not have this put a burden or put any sort of strain on the relationship. Okay? I will leave it at that though, Virgo, so I do really appreciate you tuning